So one of the things that we've learned about in the past is x and y-intercepts. So I'm going to just refresh a little bit of your memory, especially since we're dealing with lines. So intercepts, you can kind of think about where things cross. So intercepting the y-axis, intercepting the x-axis. So let's pretend I have a graph here, and my line just crosses the graph at this point and this point here. So this is my y-axis. So my y-intercept is this point right here. That point is given as 0, 3. Okay, so it's when x is 0, it's the y value. Okay, for an x-intercept, it's where my line crosses the x-axis. So in this case, it would be right here. This is the case, this is the point for 0, and it's the case when the y is equal to 0. So the one way I'm going to remember it for y-intercepts, it's when x is equal to 0. It's the y value when x is equal to 0. And for x-intercepts, it's when the value of x when y is equal to 0. So let's say instead of giving a graph, it's kind of easy to see on a graph, what if I just gave you an equation? So for example, let's take the equation. Now, we haven't done many equations written in this form, but let's say I give it to you in that form. I can always solve for y. Okay? But in this case, I want to find the x and y-intercepts. One of the things that I like to do is go ahead and put it in my table. So if I want to find the y-intercept first, I want to know when x is 0. If I want to find the x-intercept, I want to know when y is 0. So this is going to be my y-intercept, and this is going to give me my x-intercept. All right, so let's plug in 0 for x. So if I substitute 0 in there, I get 3y equals 6. This goes away. Divide both sides by 3, so y equals 2. So for this case right here, my y-intercept is 2. Right, let's say now I want to find my x-intercept. I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to plug in 0 for y. So now it's going to be, I'll do it right underneath here, 2 times x, I don't need the parentheses, so we'll just leave it as 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 6. This goes away and becomes 2x equals 6. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 3. So that is my x-intercept. All right. So these are two separate problems, right? One if I give you a graph, one if I give you an equation. I can find both my x and y-intercepts.